Leah, a corrupt California cowardly cop, is at a sobriety check. And she says, alright, I want you to put your finger through your nose one at a time and walk a straight line. And Red, the cop who pulled her over, he says, well, Leah, that's my line. This is your day off. And he walks over to, as Leah puts that traffic cone on her head, walks over to Vince and he says, call up Lacey. If we're going to have her, it's got to be her day off too. Have her come out and give Leah a ride home. Check and post if I put the number to corrupt California County cops on the backs of 5 so that you can check and post via speakerphone with them. Al and Tony are out doing some lawn work. They're neighbors, and across the street from them, this big armored car shows up. And Al says, what's going on with that? And Tony says, well, it's Robert. He's a corrupt, cowardly California cop. And they figure it's better PR, the banks do, if they make the deliveries to them instead of having armed men in uniform come in and get their protection money. I'm Mountain Son of Carpenter Mary. It's my attention getting stuff to get you to pick up your phone and check and post in 5 via speakerphone with California's corrupt cowardly cops. If they don't know what a Flight 93 check is, direct them to Christ Complex links.blogspot.com and say, are you involved or are you incompetent? Jerry is walking with Charlie, the head of a corrupt California cowardly cop agency. And Charlie says to Jerry, I want you to think about switching from the Mormons, the Latter-day Saints, LDS church, to my church. Then you won't need to do all that carousing. Once you meet some nice girls, you won't feel the need to do all that carousing. And yeah, he means using that gun in that position to get a date. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter Mary, and yeah, Jerry looks down, he sees something frilly hanging out of Charlie's waistband, and Charlie sees that and he says, oh yeah, we got quite, just like with the Mormons, quite a few gay guys like us, if you want to date that way too. Ray has stopped over to see Randall on his day off. They're both California corrupt cowardly cops. And he finds him, his wife sends him down. In his basement they're busily working in this big sink, and he says, what's going on? Randall points over to this big bag of cash. He says, the damn dye won't wash off. Yeah, they caught the bank robbers and returned half the cash. I'm Melton. Check and post in 5-424-229-4140 via speakerphone with all of California's corrupt cowardly cops. Get ready with the spike strips. They're coming your way. Larry? Are you up there in the helicopter? I can't get Larry on the radio. What? Can you see him? Is he getting the spike strips ready? And the helicopter looks down with that long-range camera, and there's Larry. He's got the back of the squad car open. He's tossing out these big sacks of money, with the big dollar signs on them, and the spike strips are underneath all that. That's all his ill-gotten gain, being a moonlighting doing his moonlighting as a corrupt California cowardly cop. Now I got your attention with the funny stuff. put the names and numbers of every damn cop in California. Can't do anything about the hatred noise coming from the Mormon Muslim African apartment down below. Oh no, they're not gonna pin another unarmed one on me. Yes, it's Melton, Stone Cold Melton's. The fun fiction about the corrupt California cowardly cops are prompted by the Mormons, the Muslims, at T Terrace playing hatred noise. And Stan and Ollie have just pulled somebody over, and Stan jumps the gun. He jumps the gun and shoots the guy. And Ollie says, "Oh, Stan, how many times I got to tell you, wait till we get him in the back of the squad car. Take him off to the desert before you do that." And he looks around at all the people kind of gathering and looking, and he says, "I'm not going to let him pin another one of these on me, another unarmed shooting." He goes to the back, has that throwaway gun, puts it on the perp. Amanda is working with a sketch artist. She was raped as a tourist out here in California and didn't get much help from the corrupt California cowardly cops. So when she got back into her state, the police did a little sketch artist thing and did some checking in. Yes, it's Officer Jerry out here in California. Milton's attempts at getting fiction here is to draw attention to corrupt California cowardly cops, state troopers, cities, and counties taking part. Put their numbers on the backs of these files and check and post via speakerphone. You're trying to call me. I haven't gotten a Flight 93 check in 9 years of asking. Check and post in 5 with them. Get their reaction. Are they involved? Are they incompetent? Their reaction to the years of YouTube's 93 checks will tell you. Frank is over at his neighbor's, Beth and Bill's place. He's a cop that lives in their neighborhood, and he just found out about them being burglarized. And he has to ask him, those Mormon missionaries, LDS, Latter-day Saints, preying on our neighborhood, did they stop by and did you talk to them? And Bill says, "Oh yeah," but the cop who stopped by to take our report, he said, "Oh no, don't worry about that. They're part of a religion and all that." And Frank says, "Oh yeah, that's their modus operandi worldwide. They have cops and other authority figures to back them up when they get in trouble." I'm Melton, Chicken Post 5, Brother Latter-day Saints. This is a fictional parable about the corrupt California cowardly cops because of Latter-day Saints on hand as always with hatred noise. James, the head of one of the California corrupt cowardly cops, is talking to Jerry, one of his members, and he says, "Jerry, we just thought if you could leave that church of yours, the Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, and come to a decent church. We got plenty of options. Maybe you could reach some nice girls, meet some nice girls, and you wouldn't have to do that carousing." They got a gun and they got authority. It's hard to say no. I'm Melton. Check and post in 5. Put the numbers of the corrupt California cops on the back of 5. Check and post in 5. Not 1 in 9 years of asking. Ask him, why is it that I can't reach Melton by phone? What's your part in that? That's very real stuff there. Red and Vince, 2 good California cops, are trying to calm down little Susie trapped in a burning car. They say, "Please, honey, just stay right where you are." And she says, "But it's hot. I can crawl out on my own." And they say, "No, honey, just a little while longer." And that's when Leah and Lacey, 2 female cops, or the princesses as other cops refer to them, And yeah, the winch pulls it up, and they reach in, save the little girl. Yeah, everything's faked out here in California, except their active participation as all of them in America's hijacked lifelines. Put their numbers on the backs of these files. Tell all of America to call them up, ask them what do you know about John Melton Brady not getting one Flight 93 check in 9 years of asking. Are you involved or are you incompetent? Go to Christ Complex links.blogspot.com. 9 years of me asking for them. They don't know, they're incompetent or involved. Is an awkward moment at the No-Tell Motel. Jerry and Jared run into each other going to get some eyes. And Jared says, "You're raping a tourist at the No-Tell Motel?" And Jacob goes, Jerry goes, "You're raping a tourist at the No-Tell Motel?" Yeah, guys, they're taunting rather openly. These aren't set to public. It's been saved time and time again. They're taunting with high-tech toys. And yes, if you call up the city, the state, the counties of California, you ask them, what do you know about John Melton Brady, asking for Flight 93 checks for over 9 years and not getting one in your state. They don't know what one is. Or they bullshit you in one way or another. Yeah, you don't know what the hell they're doing. Call them on the 1,000 crimes you don't know about for the one you know they do. Leah, a corrupt California cowardly cop, has just pulled over Kayla. And Kayla says, "Officer, I wasn't going over the speed limit." And Leah kind of smiles and in her bitchy way says, "Yeah, I know, but you just rubbed me the wrong way, you Hollywood starlets, you college students." And she just keeps going on and on about this or that until Kayla says, "Okay, how much is this going to cost me?" And she doesn't mean the ticket. Yeah, she means that rolling ATM that Leia likes to pull over. I'm Melton, put the numbers of corrupt California cowardly cops on the back of these things, asking what do you know about America's hijacked lifelines. Joyce is telling her friend Clara about how she plans to go to California with her husband for their vacation. And Clara says, "Oh no, not California. Florida's much better." And she goes on to explain that in California the cops are more like common criminals with guns hiding behind authority and those badges. Go to Florida, it's much better. She hands her a 5, one of these things, and tells her and her husband to check and post a 5 with California's corrupt cowardly cops. To a man, to a woman, call them up, and via speakerphone you try to call me up. I'm Melton. Been asking for 93 checks of America's Lifelines, Flight 93 checks of America's Lifelines for over 9 years. I have yet to get one. If they don't know what that is, tell them to go to ChristComplexLinks.blogspot.com and ask them, are they involved or are they incompetent? Darren has just loaded this big excavating kind of equipment onto the back of his truck. And he asked Carl, a corrupt California cowardly cop, "What are you putting in, like a pool or something in your backyard?" And as Carl takes out this big stack of bills out of his pocket, he says, "Oh no, I just don't trust the banks. They ask all those nosy questions about where you got your money." And Darren sees all that cash there. He says, "Wow, you must be like the police chief or something. Make that kind of money." And Carl says, "Oh no, I wish." He's got some good ATMs on his shakedown list. I'm Melton, checking posting 5-424-229-4140. Jared and Jacob are going down a California street somewhere. They're Mormon missionaries, Latter-day Sinners. And Jared explains to Jacob that doing missionary work is a great way to scope out where you might want to steal something or commit unspeakable sexual assaults, perhaps. And just then a police car rolls past, and Jared says to Jacob, "Don't worry about the cops. They kiss our ass." I'm melting. Some call from here. Call up LDS, Latter-day Saints. Utah in particular, temple churches. What do you know about you showing up on John Melton Brady's phone log when I can't reach him? That's my family's lifeline. What's your very active part in America's high-tech lifelines? Get the results, post, and put back on the numbers of California's cops and the Utah temples on the backs of files, so you can call them up and ask, "What do you know about this?" John Milton Brady not getting a Flight 93 check in 9 years. Charlie, Warren, and James, 3 heads of California corrupt, cowardly cop law enforcement agencies, are having lunch. And Charlie said, "Look at everybody, they're giggling and pointing at us. Haven't they ever seen 3 business associates having lunch together?" And James says, "Oh, Charlie, you forgot to take the pink cowboy hat off." And he quickly removes the hat, and Warren tries to explain to everybody on, "Oh, we just came from a costume party." Yeah, costume party at a gay bar. They'll be going to that motel later on. I'm Mel, and some Mary they're conducting harassment techniques here in Tigterra. So I'd tell everyone to put the backs on the backs of these files, California's numbers. Ask them what you know about John Melton Brady not getting one. John Melton Brady not getting one Flight 93 check in 9 years of asking. But this is a stone cold Melton, son of a carpenter, Mary, me, a work of fiction. This is fact. You're not reaching me and California's corrupt, cowardly cops actively taking part. Put the numbers on the backs of fives, their number, work and home, and ask them, "What do you know about this?" John Melton Brady asking for Flight 93 checks for 9 years and not getting one. If they don't know what one is, they're either involved or they're incompetent. Get their reaction, and yeah, you can post that. It's them actively taking part in America's high-tech lifelines. And Jenna is on a college campus, and she's handing out flyers of Jerry. And she explains that, yeah, this is one of the California corrupt, cowardly cops rapists. So if you see them, you see the guy, walk up to you, might be better off being in a high-speed pursuit or something, because this asshole is using his authority to rape. Warren is walking with Jerry, California corrupt cop rapist, and Stone Cold's a funny fiction. And he says, "We know you like that Mormon church of yours, but me and the other cops, we thought you might, find a nice gal and settle down and stop all that carousing of yours." He means the raping. "If you would, switch to another church." And the Latter-day Center corrupt California cowardly cop, Jerry, practicing harassment techniques this night, says, "Oh no, I like the Mormons." The bishop is all excited. You gotta help Brother Darnell got in trouble raping girls from another race. Parasites come from all races and places worldwide, so you gotta use your imagination with some of this, but yes, it's my attention getting fixed and draw attention to California's corrupt, cowardly cops taking part with, yes, Latter-day Saints. In America's high-tech lifelines, 424-229-4140. I've been asking for 9 years, I've yet to get one. Flight 93 check, you call up state, county, city, every cop in California, to a man, to a woman, asking what's your part in this. If they don't know what it is, direct them to the Christ Complex links.blogspot.com, where I've got years and years, 9 years worth of YouTube videos, and yeah, not 193 check. But yeah, the bishop's talking to some missionaries about, yes, Brother Darnell, and how they're going to have to be his alibi. They will. A red California street cop is doing some undercover work with his own. Oh, he doesn't need a wire. He's got his phone, it makes an audio, makes a video. and he's asking Jared, a cop known to be a Mormon, a Latter-day Saint, LDS, about using his authority to take part in political and religious censorship, all that kind of stuff. Oh, my fancy unseen business streets name, it has a name, it's called corruption, it's called fraud. That's what Jared has been taking part in, and Red gets a nice, hardly ever we ever do that for the Mormons. You piss on somebody, see how they react, that kind of thing. We're just like you and the rest of the streets. Oh, bullshit, Red. Get them on video and audio, being a threat to mankind. One rape away from being a Mormon. My attention getting stuff, my fix, and get you pick up your phone when the Mormon's not, and demonstrate your hijack life. And try to call me 424-229-4140. Now 1 flight 93 checking 9 years of asking. Show that to the Mormons. Ask them, how do you reach Melton to taunt from case livelihood and hijack life? Now back to Sarah and Rebecca talking to the bishop, and they've been working on Joan. They come to see her every week or so, and Sarah says she's one rape away. She doesn't want to come out to the church, but she's talking to us. We'll be there. Can Darnell do his thing? And the bishop says, well, I don't know. Do you think she'll call it in? And Rebecca says, well, she might. And the bishop said, well, don't worry. We got a Mormon who's a sergeant. He can probably sit on it. I'll see what Darnell's doing this Sunday. So Charlie is doing a routine inspection of squad cars with the sergeant. And he says, whose squad car is this? And the sergeant said, oh, it's the princesses, Leah and Lacey. And he says, well, what's that? He wasn't much of a partier back in the day. He said, oh, it's a keg. And Charlie says, well, is he planning a party this weekend? And Sergeant says, oh no, it's just her day off, and Leah or Lacey, and they like to buy in bulk. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter. Put the numbers of corrupt California cowardly cops on the back of these pipes. Call them up. What do you know about me not getting one Flight 93 check and 9 years of asking? Juan, Pedro, and several other Mexicans see Alea and her partner walking up to them, and Juan says, that's Leia. She's the princess of LA streets, of California street. And she walks up, and they know before she even says it, I'm going to have to call the INS. Juan takes out a whole bunch of stuff, pesos, and Leia says, no, I don't want that Mexican stuff. And Juan pays his way off of Leia's list with that good old American dollars. Check and post and 5 in front of California's cowardly cops. Put their numbers on the backs of 5s. So Charlie, the head of a corrupt California cowardly cop organization, is talking to Frank, the Fed. And he says, can't we do something about the hatred noise, the harassment techniques in Eagle Rock there with the one and only Stone Cold Melton, John Melton Braid, son of Carpenter? Can't we do anything? And Frank says, oh yeah, we could do something about it, but I want you to fall on my sword over it. And just then, it won't hurt me a bit. Just then, Darnell comes dragging in, and Charlie says, hey, Darnell, why are you so darn late? And Darnell kind of smiles, and I had a date. Red and Vince walk into the squad room, and there are a couple of good California cops, and from the other side of Chief Charlie's office door, there is the most horrendous 4-letter words, cussing and screaming. And Vince says, "What's going on with that?" And Agatha says, "Well, it's one of the princesses. Oh, Leia and Lacey are two cop princesses." And all of a sudden that door opens up, and there's Charlie, pink cowboy hat on, matching pink dress, and he is screaming at Officer Leia, or was it Lacey? "If I ever catch you at the same party as I am at, wearing the same damn dress, you're fired."